I just bought this from Sprouts. It's called Sprouts Market Corner. Sensational, seedy, and wholesome. And what it is, it's basically has wheat flour, water, whole wheat flours, whole brown flax seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seed, poppy seeds, pumpkin seeds, sea salt, millet, sourdough culture, whole wheat flour and water, malted, and of course it contains wheat. This is day-old bread. I had a little slice of it and it was hard as a rock. So why would I want to make breadcrumbs or breadcrumbs with this? Well, one thing, it has all the ingredients that I enjoy. I've had this bread before. It's got some really good little nuts on the outside. It tastes really good. And so for making the breadcrumbs, if I want to put over some Italian sauce or I want to put over some spaghetti or something I really like to do is bread the zucchinis or bread the some of my vegetables, then this is something I can use. And instead of it costing, I think it's about $3, I got it for 50 cents. Can't beat that.
Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living.
Okay, so the thing we do, you get yourself. Oh, another thing you can do with this, you can make croutons. So we're going to take half of it. I'm going to show you. This is what it looks like. Really, really hard. And this is what we're going to do the breadcrumbs with. And what we're going to do is we're going to break it up in pieces. You can hear how hard this is. Like sawing wood. Okay, you just have to be careful when you do this to not hurt yourself, or just make sure your fingers are above the knife, because you can see we're going through this. Okay, so now the next thing you're going to do is you want to cut this up in small pieces. Now for breadcrumbs, and this is basically it, you just kind of cut the pieces close, and you're going to just cut smaller pieces for it. You can already see we're lining up the bread, and and this would make very nice breadcrumbs. We'll be putting this in the oven, 350 degrees, 15 minutes, half an hour. Depends how fast the bread will dry up. Sometimes you might be able to put something on top of it, but bread has already been filled with all kinds of good ingredients. So once we bake it and it turns a little brown, it's going to have a lot of flavor to, say, your different meals that you're preparing. Your soups, your stews, or my stews. Okay. So then these little pieces, I just cut them up. This is the one that's as hard as a rock. In fact, I think it is a rock. I can't cut this piece. Okay. Now it doesn't look like it, but there's actually some moisture in this thing right here, and so you don't want to just use this. You want to dry it up just like croutons are meant to be. So instead of buying a bag of crouton that's got Parmesan cheese over it or whatever, and you could do that, you could, if you wanted to have more flavor to it, you could put some cheese on top, like almond cheese or cashew cheese, or some of the white cheeses that they're making. I haven't made any of those in a while. I need to show you how I make my white cheese. But for now, I'm showing you how to make croutons. Okay. So now we're going to get a baking pan. and I'm going to show you how I make this. Okay, so give me a second. So I could lay it on this non-stick pan, but I don't really want to keep on cleaning it, and I don't want it to turn bad. So what I do, it's not going to turn bad. What's going to happen is it will damage itself. It'll turn black. So what will I do is I use parchment paper. Okay, I lay it down and kind of measure the sides. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to hold the crumbs in place. Okay, like so. Just align with my fingers. Put it in on it. And there. And then you can transfer the breadcrumbs onto the parchment paper. Now some people, what they do is they sprinkle a little bit of olive oil, and you can definitely do that. That's vegan. It comes from a tree. Or if you have vegan cheese that's not made from dairy, you could sprinkle that on the top of it. You could use some of the nacho cheese, the cheddar cheeses. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my oven at 350 degrees. Let me show you. Okay, so turn on the oven at bake. It's already at 350 and start it. And then when it beeps, we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Breadcrumbs. Well, that's a lot easier than you think. We're going to do the same thing. We take our half piece of bread. We're going to open it up. And we're going to stick this in the oven. Some people use their toasters. That can work too. Or those little ovens. Those small ones. So what you're basically doing is you're trying to dry up the bread. You're going to put it in a food processor. And since this bread has got all those ingredients we talked about, this has got brown flax seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seed, poppy seeds, pumpkin seeds. It's got a lot of seeds on here. It's going to make a very tasty breadcrumb. Okay. So I'm going to cut it up in little pieces. Okay. So a lot of people, what they do is they use white bread, brown bread, any type of bread, pumpernickel bread, whatever you like in your My mother used to save old bread, and that's how we used to make it. And then we'd have all the different flavors together. But this bread was specifically bought because it had all these additional seeds in it, so we were able to, I can show you a much different taste to it. Now a lot of these breads do have sugar in them, and you do have to consider that. Or they might have honey. This bread has honey in it. I think it's going to be okay. It's not vegan, but it's still another way of making it. It's very hard to find bread that either doesn't have white granulated flour in it. So you've got to be careful. If you're allergic to honey, then make sure that you read the ingredients like I read the panel, and make sure that honey is not part of it. So because we want these to crisp up, we're going to put a little bit of olive oil on them. It's just a matter of trying to make sure we don't put too much on there. So that way the croutons will have that nice Italian flavor on top of them. Now, some people use spoons, you know. Everybody's got their own technique. You want to try not to drench them like I'm doing, like right there. You want to just put a little bit on. Sometimes what you do is you put them in a bowl and you coat all the sides to it. So instead of doing it in the pan that you're going to be. But I was trying to save a step. I've been cooking all day today and I've got loads of dishes everywhere all around the kitchen. Okay. Alright, so then we lay it flat. The oven is at 350 degrees. I'm going to show you. And now we're just going to open the door and we're going to drop this in. Now you have to watch this. You just can't walk away. You know, we start off with a few minutes, like 10 minutes. I'm going to set the timer right now. And you have to stay in the kitchen. As soon as you start smelling something burning and you know what it is, it's going to be your croutons. So then you're going to put down 10 minutes and we'll be right back. So it's been 10 minutes. We're going to turn off the timer and we're going to take a look at it. Oh, and look, looks really nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull it out of there and we're going to flip it over. I'll lay the camera over here. Remember to use an oven mitt. It's gonna be hot. Okay, then use a spatula. I'm gonna use a metal one. And I'm just gonna try to flip them over. You know, if I had cream sauce, I'd be able to tell the difference. They look a little bit drier than when I put them in, but they were so dense before, it's really hard to tell. But they do smell delicious. So these breadcrumbs will be having my spaghetti meals, or I'm having my ravioli meals, or my salads. I'll be able to really enjoy this. Okay, we're going to put it in there for another 10 minutes and then it'll be all ready. So I just stuck them in for another 10 minutes. And these are my two dogs and they're saying, "Where's the food, Dad?" There's Star looking around because I dropped a spatula. There's TJ checking out his delicious dog food and rice. And Star's saying, "Okay, Dad, I'm waiting for you dropping the food on the floor." Okay, so we'll see in a few minutes. And there I am. And I forgot to tell you that I had set the timer, so the timer is clocking down from 5 minutes. So this is the second go around. So it should be ready by then. So the timer just rung. Now we're going to open the door. Let some of the heat go out. We grabbed our oven mitt. Put them on the stove. You can see how golden brown they are. We're going to turn off the oven. Off. See, it's off. And now, these are croutons. And they'll be perfect in the salad I'm having tonight. I'm having this salad tonight. So this is not only how to make croutons, but this is also how to put croutons in your salad from some delicious bread that you just bought. With very good organic oil. We're using Bertolini extra virgin olive oil. And I'm grabbing all the little pieces that I just love. It's nice and warm. I'm going to eat this and it's going to be my dinner and I'm going to be very happy. Again, thank you for watching. And thank you for watching How to Make Croutons the vegan way. Bye.
If you like this channel, please subscribe.
Or give us a thumbs up.